Well, guys, we got our tools out. We got our fender, how I'm thinking about doing it. I'm thinking about just mounting that on there, and this here is the only change I'm really doing. Just doing it in two pieces instead of trying to bend that into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend this up from here to where it stops. So once I pin that down, it'll be tight. But I'm thinking about just pop ribbing it on there. I had that in there testing to see about where I would want my, this is not the piece I'm going to be using, but it's pretty close to what I need. So what I basically want to do is this bar goes up and cuts back, and it's separate from this bar here. So there's two pieces here. So I have all this up here I can work with to go to, and this will also help with mud coming back here, and it will also give this a seat to sit on, a little platform. So what I plan to do is make another piece like this without that bend and longer. And I'm going to make it long enough to where I can bring it all the way down to this square channel that's open, and I had to blow a bunch of nasty dirt out there. So I want to enclose that. So I'm going to make this also enclose that hole. So I could either 3D print a plug, or, which would probably be a better idea, but I'm going to make it go all the way down and cover that, and then it'll bend to this contour. Then when it gets up to the top here, it's going to bend all the way up here. Then what's left over, which is going to be up to about right here, maybe 2 inches, and then actually it'll be longer than that, because we want to try to fold it back to where it's level to this, so we can go about 1.5 inches underneath this, and this is a flat surface. That would be a flat surface. We could put a pad on it with rubber, a rubber pad, and put on it, and then we'll have this. I gotta cut it. So what I've done right now is just clamped it where I think it would look good with my wheels. And well, it got moved. Probably when I was bending down on that. To where it looks good with my wheels. And I need this, just this part right here, from this line over to where I marked off how far it is from here to here. So then when I get done, then I'll take a straight piece of steel rod or plate or flat bar, clamp it to it, and bend what I have cut up, and it would go underneath this right here. This is where I plan to pop rivet it, here, here, and here. Then I can't do nothing else, because I don't want to get down here for it's too damn small. I might be able to get one down here. Just depends on how the clamping goes, because this here's got to stay in there. I want that to draw down and really look decent up against these two pieces when these two pieces are mated. So I'm just going to pop rivet it, probably try to get one here. Then we'll just do it uniform. Let's see, we'll just go up here, about the same distance, about that far. Right in the middle. Alright, then we'll come in the middle of them two, and put one right there. And dare I go one more? Yeah, we can do one more set. And if we do it straight enough, it would look like it was trimmed. With, of course, I'll probably spray it. But I really don't care if it's got pop rivet holes in it. To me, that tells me that it's got more strength. So I plan to put pop rivets in those locations, at least this one, and this one. I haven't debated on them yet. Then, once I get down here, I gotta drill a hole first to get that hole, or that rounded area where I'm gonna cut and go straight across. And then I'm just gonna round off the ends of it. So it's gonna be an L shape, because we don't want to bend this part when we go to bend this part. So we have to cut it and go that direction to allow, this comes to about right there, this part here. So that would allow me to go across right here where my bend stops. That's where it ends. I might actually have it a little bit too far forward. Let's go back here about another 1/2 inch. So I want to come in here and I want to drill a hole about 1/2 inch away from that mark right there. And on top of that mark. So probably about 20 millimeters would be okay. Yeah. So we want to go 20 millimeters, so I'm going to put 20 on there. Probably won't remember what that's for. So basically what I'm going to do is just get me a 1/2 inch bit. I'm going to start off with a small one and drill that out, and then I'll come back when we're getting ready to bend that. Alright guys, we've got it close to where we want it. This is the outline of the inside of the hood. I also calculated what it would take to get underneath this rubber to where this here is very, very close to being right on the money. Where the edge of this metal is going to be right at the edge of the inside of that. So it'll overlap and be nice to hold it together. Now, the reason I hesitate on doing pop rivets so close to that smaller area, we need to kind of stay big, because there is a higher side to it. So when you try to pop rivet this to this is going to hit the metal first. So then the pop rivet's going to pull further and it's going to cause a big old dent. So to keep it minimum, you want to try to keep it as little as possible, just enough to do its job. And so now we have to bend this part right here to match this. So what I've done is I put a mark right there, because I measured from the outside of this to right where it starts to bend, and then I put a mark there. So now we can take our straight edge, run it from here to where I'm going to drill a hole. Then we're going to draw us a line right there. Alright. Now that's where we're going to bend. So what I'm going to do is, we got to drill the hole first, and we got to find a place to do it. Yeah, you see I got a radius now. So now I got to cut from here to here. But I got to cut this first, because I got to do it on the bandsaw. I can't cut from this end because this won't go past my column. So let's do that. Alright, now we got to go bend it after I clean it up. So now, what I need to do is cover the windshield or the hood so it don't get messed up. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to clean this off. I'm just going to clamp this to it, and we're going to make damn sure we're right. So now we're going to take and clamp that. So then we're just going to take and, it don't take much for this stuff to bend. I just do a little bit each time so that it stays kind of straight. This is not actually the best frickin' holding that you can have, but it won't fit in the vise. Of course, I could have reversed it, and yeah, now she's going. You gotta know how to hold them. Yeah, now she's starting to work real good. Now we're getting to the point where we're going to have to check it. I mean, we can always bend it back, but I think I'm pretty close to it. Nope, need to go a little bit further. And we'll mock her up there again. Looks about right. So now we can take all these catastrophe off. Stuff that doesn't want to work right. And they don't like to just come apart easy. They like to pop. Alright. So now we should have our shape. And there we have it. So now let's see what it looks like. Alright. We're clamped into place. And this kind of falls in behind that real nice because it's the same contour. So it kind of actually acts as a lip to hold it. If I've got you guys in frame. So this acts like a lip. So I'm still good with my wheel well. Now, when I go to put a marker light on it, I'm just going to make me an aluminum bracket that comes down right here and mounts to this. And we're going to have a amber LED right here, just like I did on the rear. I'm going to pop rivet this. I might put some kind of a spacer behind that to keep this from crushing and causing that to dent. I think if I take a piece of that rubber membrane that goes on camper roofs, I've got a couple rolls of that stuff, and I could take and glue that on there, and that would be the same thickness as this is thick on one side. So it would bridge that. Because I want to leave that on there. That's what makes it look good. And once I get that squeezed on there and clamped, it'll come up with the hood. Just like that. And because it's bent again in that angle, this is going to create a stronger hood as far as flippity floppy. It's still going to have some flop in here, and I'm still debating on whether to put some kind of a flat piece of aluminum across there, just a band across the back side of the inside of this hood, so that it's not so wavy. But I have to do it right here where this is at, about this far away from it, so that it comes down into the box. So I'll just pop rivet a piece of aluminum strip about yay wide, and just bend to that contour, and the aluminum alone would be stronger than this flimsy metal. You seen how easy it was to bend that. But you see why this was actually supposed to go up a little bit closer to that circle, but I didn't want to take any chances. Plus, I think this worked out okay anyway. Yeah, I've got plenty of overlap to where you're not going to see through it. Once I pop rivet that to it, this stuff will be permanently put on there. It won't come back off. So I'm going to clamp her together right where it's at. Now that I just have it lightly clamped, very lightly. Then I'll come in here with this, and we'll clamp it. Actually, we'll clamp it from, no, I think we'll drill from this side. Or should I? I probably ought to drill from this side, because if I drill from this side, I might misjudge something. So I think I'll drill from here. I'll have to drill this side, so I'm going to have to move this and turn it around to the other side. We'll bring it up so we can still drill our hole where our rivet's going to go. I still kind of misjudged it a little bit, so putting those holes in is going to have to be strategically done. And we're not going to get very many. We're probably going to get 3, and that's it. So let me get my 1/8 inch drill bit, and let's drill it. I think this is my 1/8 inch drill bit. We'll find out. First I gotta turn it on. A little bigger than an 1/8, but it's metal, it'll be okay. Alright, so I'm gonna drill while you guys back up a little bit. You all up in my space. So we're going to go ahead and drill one right. We want to try to... Well, guys, I apologize. I don't know where my camera stopped off because I wasn't paying attention. I was busy showing you guys what I was doing. And apparently, I need the red light on the front of the camera to let me know it's recording. So, anyway, I don't know where it stopped. I don't know how far into this we got. I hope I got far. But, just in case, I'll show you what I did. Makes me mad that I let it go dead. So we just went in behind it here, folded that over, pop riveted it there. See, if I would have went on down, I would have been off of it because you see it was getting wider here, narrower. By the time I did the second one, it'd be right at the edge of it, and you probably would not drill it right. It'd probably break your bit too. So I decided to just put 3 right there, 2 right here, and that is plenty solid enough. And in fact, it made the edge a little bit stronger because now you have 2 bent edges and 2 separate pieces of metal clamped together at the same contour. And this will come out and meet the mud flat. So I probably could have just cut that off, but I kind of want to get rid of that hole right there. So if I put this up there, it will pretty much take care of seeing that hole. So, and it'll come out to the edge of this, and yes, I'm hoping I have enough of this beading to go around all that too. So I'm going to kind of use that as my theme. And camouflage, we got to have camouflage in my theme. But it's not perfectly straight. I could have done a better job, but I still got to sand this part right here to smooth it down and then repaint it flat black. And when I do that, we're just going to do that to all this. And the beading can stay right on it, don't matter. Because it's black too. So we ain't got this side. There's the difference. Driver side, passenger side. So now the other fender has to be measured exactly like this one. So I got to do a bunch of measuring because I didn't copy it before. I should have put it on the other piece upside down and drew the contour so I could get them both the same. But no, I didn't think that far ahead. But anyway, that's the fender, and we're hoping that we can use these. I'm sure I'm going to. I want to look at a bunch of other ones and see how they have theirs. I might have mine backwards. I don't know. It just seems like these here ought to be facing forward. In fact, I think that's how they advertised it. So it's just a matter of where I want to place it to hide as much of the bad spots as I can get. So this one here, there's no getting around it. I'm going to have to probably fix it. I'm pointing at me while I'm showing you something I'm doing. So we can see a little bit of that mess up right there, and we can see a little bit of the mess up right there and almost part of the weld. So who knows, maybe if I put some of that beading around that too, that will come out far enough to hide that. I mean, it's wide enough there, I can put some beading around it because it's wide enough. It's supposed to be wide enough for that 2-sided tape they give you that I'm not going to use because it's junk. I'm going to put a pop rivet here and 2 right here. And because it's going to an angle and going in a curve, it's going to hold itself down tight with just those 3. You ain't even got to worry about up here. So, anyway, that about do it for the fender. You guys have a good one. Later.